What's going on, guys? Monsterjamfan2010 here, and today welcome back to Monsterjamfan2010's commentary series episode 3. This is a kind of a follow-up video to another video that I did earlier kind of in the month about talking about one of the worst eras in monster trucking history that happened over a 2-week period. Today's episode, while it's just as dark as last one's, is going over a period of around 5 years. We're going to be talking about even more tragic accidents that happened in Monster Jam, unfortunately around Halloween. Anyways, let's get right into it. This was probably the most unsafe era of monster trucking due to no remote ignition interrupter, not much safety at all inside the trucks, or really anything even protective in the stands, especially like it is today. So, here we go. Also note, one final thing as well, just in case you're trying not to get in trouble with YouTube, viewer discretion is advised. So our first story takes us to Niagara Falls in 1992. During a race against Taurus, a truck with that machine behind the wheel was racing. At the very end of the race, it came over the crushed car very hard, and it ended up knocking the driver out. It also the tire got popped, and it went at an angle where nothing can stop the driver. So it was on the throttle because he was unconscious, and he went into the stands. And it killed one old guy. However, the guy is a hero because he just had saved a child from nearly getting killed by it seconds beforehand. He is a hero of something that unfortunately ended up happening from a death. And this because it stirred controversy around that machine, and the truck didn't really last much longer than that. However, 3 months later, at an event at Galsburg Raceway, a truck by the name of Overexcited, yes, that is a literal name of a truck, ended up having an incident where it had a similar incident with that machine where the driver got knocked out and the throttle was still going. And it ended up going into the stands, into the catch fence, and ended up killing, I think, a little boy. And it injured a lot more people. And the event, I think, got halted. There's a photo of it in the stands, but because I'm not going to show any graphic images that happened, it's either before or it ended up actually going downhill. So I'm just not going to talk or show stuff like that. But yeah, this is ultimately eventually is why we have the RII ignition. 2 years later, in Claremore, I believe, Texas, a very young Tom Mintz was doing a run in the arena, and he rolled over his truck. Monster Patrol injured 5 officials but killed a driver. 39-year-old Mike Hickerson was killed. This is something that has been overshadowed by a lot of the other great things Tom Mintz has done. Ultimately, something that Tom Mintz himself has loved and he's forgotten about. However, around the same time, I'll post the year when this happened, but in the Eastern Idaho State Fairgrounds, a truck by the name of Radioactive ended up finishing its run. However, lost control and I believe rolled over, crashed into the grandstands, and I believe it killed 2 or 3 people and injured about a dozen or so more. And there was also controversy around this truck. I didn't read up a whole lot on this, but I'll post it kind of in messages of overall a better description. Yeah, that's what happened. However, the final one of these is one that would change the course of Monster Jam for at least a decade and a half. And has ultimately led to them never returning back to the arena for, once again, almost 20 years. This is Miami 1997. In what was just the second ever Monster Jam show shown on IMJ, Inside Monster Jam. This had something that became notorious for the incident. Corey Scott incident. As going through the stunt, Corey Scott was a stunt man who, would always do thrill show acts like many others in Monster Jam. However, the stunt he had planned to do ended up failing. He missed the net and was 3 stories high at 60 feet and fell and plummeted to his death. As he died, this basically overshadowed the entire event and led to the USHRA never returning to the arena, to the stadium, again, the Orange Bowl. And they would go to the Dolphin Stadium. However, this led to many Miami shows not getting televised, and overall, there were major periods where many fans weren't even showing up to the stadium. The stadium was not even close to sold out. It wasn't until literally a decade and a half later after the incident where Monster Jam finally got a televised event in Miami. However, ironically, 21 years later, they would return to the site where the accident happened, although in a different stadium in Marlins Park, a disaster in itself. However, this era of monster trucking over 5 years, and the last one wasn't even a stunt, but something as well that gets forgotten for other reasons, but led to something that would be a pivotal point in Monster Jam for over a decade and a half. This was a dangerous era, not only to be a driver, but someone who's in the stands. This eventually led to, obviously, the RII, the screwing off of about the first couple of rows, and ultimately a lot more driver safety from the seat to the neck restraints and the roll cage, basically everything that would be normally a Monster Jam is in it today. So while these are very unfortunate, it happened, and monster trucking got safer as a result. There still can be very bad accidents. Drivers can still get injured. Some of it can end its career, so drivers' careers. Sometimes fans get injured, and even fans can get killed in it. But while this rarely happens now, it was a lot more common back during this dangerous age, as was with any motorsport of Formula One, NASCAR, NHRA, and basically every single motorsport that existed, besides one, until the mid to late 90s. Anyways, that's going to do it for Monsterjamfan2010's commentary series, episode 6. Hope you guys enjoyed this little documentary. Like, subscribe for more content like this, and hit the bell for notifications, because it's the only way you can get notified for my videos early, because YouTube doesn't like me. Anyways, guys, hope you all enjoy. I'll see you guys next time.